Everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Blog Report. Before I get started, I want to say congratulations to Paul Krugman. You might know Krugman as the columnist for the New York Times on economic issues, but he's actually also a famous international trade economic theorist. Krugman's claim to fame is the realization that countries that import certain goods are just as likely to export the same goods as well. Like countries trade like goods. Hence the award. Congratulations, Mr. Krugman. Now, let's see what's percolating in the Technorati Blogger Central. What are the top tags for today? This is Technorati Blogger Central, and the top tags for today are news, politics, Barack Obama, John McCain, Sarah Palin, economy, economics, media, McCain, and music. But today my focus is on Sarah Palin, and my question is Sarah Palin stabbing John McCain in the back? I could have posed it as an absolute, saying that Sarah Palin is stabbing John McCain in the back. But I believe it's fair and appropriate to pose it as a question and then present these reasons why I posed the question. Consider this. There are 4 primary occurrences where, after she was named the vice presidential running mate to Senator John McCain, Governor Palin has made statements that were more in line with Senator Barack Obama than Senator John McCain. First of all, let's take the most recent one, of Korea, where Senator John McCain has said that he does not favor taking Korea off the state-sponsored terrorism list, and Senator Barack Obama does, however, with some considerations and some caveats. Governor Palin agrees with Senator Obama, although she didn't say I agree with Senator Obama. She said that she trusted Condoleezza Rice, our Secretary of State's position and actions in removing Korea from the state-sponsored terror list. She said, quote, today, nodding her head, I trust Condoleezza Rice's judgment and actions, or words to that effect. Well, in comes John McCain to counter and rein in her vice presidential running mate. But if that's not enough, then let's go to, and of course that's not enough, let's go to the example of Pakistan. Just about approximately a month plus ago, less than that, Governor Palin was caught at a photo op in Philadelphia being asked by a young reporter if she favored our going into Pakistan to apprehend or perhaps take out a terrorist if we had actionable intelligence that terrorist was there, even if the Pakistani government was not cooperating, and her answer was yes. That's also the position of Senator Barack Obama, and it has been for some time. In comes Senator John McCain to rein her in. But if that's not enough, let's take yet another example, and that would be bankruptcy. The Obama-Biden proposal and stance is that the primary homeowner that files for bankruptcy should not worry about losing their home because it's in the middle of foreclosure. Bankruptcy should protect their home. Governor Palin favors this policy, the Obama-Biden policy. However, John McCain does not. Let's go a step further. About a month and 2 weeks ago, Governor Palin referred to the Palin-McCain administration as opposed to the McCain-Palin administration, causing a mild uproar with people who already believed that she was highly ambitious. The simple fact of the matter is that Governor Palin is. The seeds of Governor Palin's behavior were planted way back, well, not really way back, but just a few years ago in Alaska, when she was appointed to be on the powerful Alaska Oil and Gas Commission, along with GOP boss Randy Rudich. Governor Palin and Randy Rudich both received campaign contributions, according to the work of the fantastic Village Voice editor and writer Wayne Barrett. I want to give him his due here. That both Palin and Rudich got campaign contributions again from Evergreen. But, and here's the caveat, it was Palin's responsibility to look after ethics violations while she was on the commission. She always had her eye on Riddich. But she decided to turn around and oppose Riddich's actions in making sure that Evergreen Resources got the contract to drill for oil, because Evergreen Resources had supported Riddich in past and then current GOP campaigns. But here's the catch. Governor Palin also received contributions and assistance and had friends that were tied with Evergreen Resources, but she never disclosed that fact. Why did she do all this? Because in attacking Riddich, she hit the big boss, or then big boss, she's arguably now the big boss, of the Alaska Republican Party. And in so doing, created the popularity and the attention and the fundraising that came with, quote, taking on the old state party bosses of the GOP, unquote. That is how Governor Palin ascended to power. Now, if we fast forward to today, we find that Governor Palin has not only continued that activity, but on a higher level. Here is my argument, ladies and gentlemen, that Governor Palin knows deep down inside that she does not agree with John McCain on many issues, but she hasn't learned the discipline of speaking the party line 100% of the time. Now, your retort might be that Senator Joe Biden hasn't learned it either, but there's a difference. Senator Biden has 35 years of Senate experience. Governor Palin does not. She has no Senate experience at all. She has no federal government experience. She hasn't earned the respect and wealth of relationships that will allow her to take some liberties with statements and have even the media give her a pass. And I'm being absolutely 100% honest. She hasn't earned that. What Governor Palin finds herself in is an attractive situation that says such that it says to her, you know, if I play this correctly, I can come back and either run for senator or run for president. And don't think for a moment those ideas are not in her mind. So my argument is this: she knowingly occasionally opposes McCain, because then she can come back in the future and say, well, you know, I wasn't really for all of what John McCain stood for. And even though John McCain claimed he was a maverick, I was a maverick even as I was running with John McCain. She has already set herself up to make that argument. She set herself up such that she could arguably be a very valuable member of any energy commission President Barack Obama would form, for two reasons. A, the fact that she can turn around and say, well, Barack and I agree on many issues. And B, because she's governor of Alaska, which has vast energy resources that the country can well use and has already used and to some degree taken advantage of. I hate to use that term, but it's appropriate and it fits and it's true. Governor Palin is developing the gantry that will build the rocket for her future political career. It's no accident that she's taking these actions. Now, of course, it comes off as a mistake. It comes off as a skit in Saturday Night Live, so everyone jokes about it, laughs about it, and her current credibility takes a hit. But her future credibility does not. I believe that her internal political clock and her internal political calculus has said, I'm going to form this view of myself, and I'm going to continue to form it because it can work for me in the future. Because I think Senator Obama is going in a direction that I should want to go in now that I learned more about how the United States works. And if I want to get elected in the future, I have to take a more centrist line and position. And I'm going to do it bit by bit by bit in a way such that it doesn't cost me, even if it costs our campaign. I firmly believe now that Governor Palin has adopted that point of view. To the detriment of her own campaign, yes, but people have already argued that she's a liability. Bill Kristol did so in the New York Times on Monday. Others have done so in the recent past. The GOP is not happy with her as a candidate. So she has to now form her parachute. And her parachute says that my future is fashioning myself as a centrist, and over time being the kind of person that is liked by everyone in America rather than being disliked. Because I can bet you credits to Navy beans, to use an old Star Trek term, that Senator Palin does not like being disliked by people. Senator Palin is still at heart a small town product of a state that's much larger than its population. She's out there, she's still learning, and she's changing and adjusting, and she's continuously growing out of the skin that she fashioned herself before and into a new skin, which she will then shed for yet another skin. It's a remarkable development to watch unfold. But consider what I'm saying. Governor Palin is fashioning her political future right before our eyes. So when you hear about another Palin misstep, or another example of Governor Palin not following the party line, think to yourself, there's another brick that's being planted in that foundation for her political future. She is indeed stabbing John McCain in the back. Now, let's go on and find out what's happening in the sports world, at least online in the blogosphere. This is Technorati in sports, and the Rising Post is final Elias rankings for American League relief pitchers, and the report slams TSA failure to track security passes. Now for sports, I've got to admit I don't know what's up with TSA, that's the Transportation Services Administration, having a news clip in the sports area, but well, I think that's something that David Sifry and his people at Technorati need to take a look at. Let's deal with sports and the fact that, first of all, we find that Dallas Cowboys quarterback Tony Romo is going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks. It'll be the ultimate test of the Cowboys coaching staff to see if they can really fashion an excellent game plan that not only takes advantage of their personnel, but manages the game better than they've had. I'm not saying that their game planning has been that atrocious, but I think that they have skirted by with the idea that their talent alone can win games rather than any creative use of scheme. When was the last time you saw the Cowboys use a flea flicker or any kind of exotic use of formation? I haven't. They just sort of line up and play football. Some of you out there say that's the way it should be. My point is that when it comes to football strategy, you do whatever it takes to win. Whatever it takes. In baseball, we find that oh my goodness, Tampa Bay Devil Rays clobbered the Boston Red Sox 9-1. It wasn't even a contest. Were you paying attention? Okay, I gotta admit, neither was I. And then, tonight, in Monday Night Football, let's a little flashback, folks. Remember preseason for you NFL junkies when the world champion New York Giants hosted the Cleveland Browns and thrashed them by some score like 44-10? Sacking the Giants quarterbacks 7 times with Numanura, their great defensive end, the Giants' great defensive end, I believe having 3 sacks in that game. Do you remember that game? And you remember hearing about this game and thinking, oh my goodness, the Giants are going to walk into Cleveland Stadium and blow out the Browns? It didn't happen. It just goes to show you that you should never, if you can help it, not run up the score in preseason against a team that you know you're going to see in the regular season. Well, that's my addition for the blog report. And, one other sports item I want to add. I want to congratulate Marvin Harrison for coming back into the fold. You know, all the information about Marvin has been, well, not so good coming out. It's been his off-the-field incidents and unfortunate stories about he and guns and people that it sounds like he probably doesn't want to associate with. But on the field, Marvin has got his act together. He's holding on to the ball. He caught a 67-yard bomb from Peyton Manning against the Baltimore Ravens on Sunday, and 6 catches, I believe, for 138, buck 48, something of that order. Marvin Harrison is back, and so are the Colts. They trounced the Ravens 31-3 and did a terrific job. On the other side of the coin, we have my beloved Oakland Raiders, which lost their game to the Saints 34-3. I watched every minute of that horrendous game, and I have to say this. I think the Raiders have a terrific quarterback in Jamarcus Russell. The problem is the Raiders' defense. Their scheme causes the defensive ends to be consistently caught rushing in. And as the offensive tackles pass block, as if they're blocking for a pass play, the offensive guards and centers on the offense, the opposing offense, fire out and run block, creating a natural gap that runners go through for big gains. It's something that you think the Raiders would have figured out, and Rob Ryan, their defensive coordinator, would have developed a scheme to stop, but it hasn't happened. It's annoying to watch, and the Raiders must take action in this area of their defensive scheme. That's really their problem. It's not so much their offense, but it's their defense inability to stop the run. That's where it starts. And with that, thank you for watching another edition of my blog report. I'll see you tomorrow.